All right, here's a quick video of a couple examples from lesson 2.4b. Given a slope and a point on a line, we're supposed to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Grab my pen tool here. So write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So let's start with the first hint. The first clue, the first bit of information, the slope is -3/4, and the slope is the m. Slope is the m, so I'm going to replace the m with -3/4. Just substitute that in there. And then we have a point. Now remember, any line, which what we're talking about now, we're talking about lines. Equations that are straight lines. We're not doing any curves yet. We'll do that later this year. But a straight line, there's an infinite number of points on that line. And every point has an x and a y coordinate, which would be an ordered pair. So here's one ordered pair that's on this line. And it has to work in the equation. So the x will be 8. So I take out the x, replace it with 8. Take out the y, replace it with -3. And the b stays there. Because I don't know what b is. Do not know what b is. So I need to solve this equation to find out what b is. So I'm going to multiply the -3/4 and the 8. So I can put 8 over 1, and anytime you multiply with fraction and fraction, you can simplify the denominator and numerator, if possible. Here you can. 4 and a 4 goes once, 4 and 8 goes twice, so it's -3 times 2 is -6. So -6 plus b equals -3. Add 6 to both sides, and you find out -3 plus 6 is +3. B is by itself. So now we know B, which is the y-intercept, which goes right here. We already know the slope. So we just need to write the final answer in slope-intercept form. So I will take my time and type it in the box here. Y equals. Now the slope is a fraction -3/4. So I could put the negative sign out in front. And I could put in the numerator 3 over 4. I could put the negative sign in the numerator also. And I'm going to add on the y-intercept, which is the b, which is the 3. Now, if we did it right, should get some smileys here. I made a mistake. So I need to go back and take a look at what I did incorrectly. Okay? So let's do some investigating here. Oh, look at my equation. I put y equals -3/4 plus 3, and it's supposed to be y equals mx plus b. The slope is the coefficient of the x term. So that should be a pretty simple fix if that's what the mistake was. So I have y equals the slope times x plus the y-intercept. It's more like it. So let me do a quick erase, and let's do another problem. Now this problem, let me start with slope-intercept form. And the rate of change, of course, rate of change is slope. Remember, rate of change represents slope. It's undefined. So I need to go off to the side and think, okay, undefined, is that a horizontal line or is that a vertical line? Think about a horizontal line. Horizontal line has rise over run. It has no rise, 0, but it can run. You can go 3, you can go 4. Anything you divide by 0 divided by 4, 0 divided by 10, you're going to get 0. So a horizontal line has a slope of 0. This has an undefined slope. So it must be a vertical line. And a vertical line always has the same x value. So the x has to be the same. When we studied that, We had looked at that before, so it's just a real simple equation. X has to equal, so we're not even going to write it in slope-intercept form because the slope is undefined. So the equation would be x equals, look at the point that's given. One of the points on the line, x is -1, y is 0. So -1 has to be the equation of that line. So let me tap it in. Let's see, -1. Need to change to my pointer here, and we got it right. Do one more with you. Let's talk about now. Remember, if it was that last one, if it was a horizontal line, it has a 0 slope. 0 times x is 0, so the x values would be gone, and you just have a y equals equation with no x values because there's no slope. 0 times x. Right? That's back in our notes from last time. All right, let's do one more. Slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Slope is -1/20, so replace the m. Slope is a rate of change. The x and y, I have a point that has x is 60. So put 60 in for x and a 1 in for y, and I leave b there because I'm going to solve for b. Once we find b, we can write our final equation in slope-intercept form. So one here, -1/20 times positive 60 be a negative. And we multiply with fractions. You can simplify, divide by 10, actually divide by 20. So I get -3 plus b, add 3 to both sides, 4 equals b. So go in here, y equals, have my fraction, and it's going to be, what, -1/20. So you could put the negative sign out in front like I did the first example in the video, or put -1 in the numerator. Then I need an x, so I have y equals mx, plus b, and b is 4 this time. Let's see how we did. So I wrote it in y equals mx plus b form, and I made a mistake, and it's not because I forgot the x this time. So now we got to go back and look. Did I use the correct slope for m? Yep, I have -1/20. And look what I did. Some of you are sitting there going in the video probably going, Mr. Rudisill, the y is 0. And I put in a 1. So I got to erase that. And I need to put a 0 in there because the y is 0. When 0 plus 3 is 3. So I think the only adjustment I had to make was the y-intercept here. So let me just change the 4, make it a 3, and change back to my pointer. Yes, that's how you do those problems. Good review. And if you make a mistake, be able to go back and investigate.